good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are tuned in from. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name's Kellam. Welcome to the show. All my information is right there. If this is your first time, I can guarantee you it's not going to be your last time. We break down what the hell is going on in these charts and give you the tools, the strategies, the tips, the tricks, and the mindset so that you can dominate these markets so these markets don't dominate you. This is all about bridging that gap from beginner to pro, throwing that rope back to you so you understand what the hell is going on. How do you identify support and resistance? What is support and resistance? What tools can you use to identify where price action will likely go? What you can do to put yourself in a position to stack the probabilities in your favor. That's what we do here at BitLab Academy. Whether you're at bitlabacademy.com and a member with our premium Discord, with our courses, using the BitLab Trading Stack Indicators to really help you break down the data in the charts and give you those accurate and highly actionable signals, and how to stack those signals in your favor, how to manage your risk. We do all that through bitlabacademy.com, the membership there, as well as here on the BitLab Academy YouTube channel, breaking this down for you so you know what the hell is going on. Again, my name's Kellam, and I have to say, welcome to the show. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for being here on a daily basis. We're going to be breaking down a lot of things today. New Bitcoin spot ETF. What is it? Where's it from? What's going on? Is it BlackRock? Is it Grayscale? Is it even in the US? What does it mean? Because the US definitely is falling behind. It's time to break down what's going on in the charts. But before we do that, I told you at the beginning of the show I was going to be doing a giveaway. And the giveaway actually was from last week, but I kind of wanted to get Saturday in there. Actually meant to do this yesterday, but I forgot because there's too much TA to do. This is all for all of you here. So shout out to everybody. This is going to be a giveaway of 1 hour conference call with me, whether it's on Zoom or Skype or smoke signals, whatever works best for you. I don't know if you're on a 14.4 modem or high-speed internet, but we're going to make it happen. We're going to break down whatever you want to do in the charts, TA, trading strategy, tools, tips, what it doesn't matter. It's going to be 1 hour with me. So let's go ahead and do the spinny wheel. If you haven't yet, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy, which is at Academy BitLab right here. You can see it. And make sure you're following. You're hitting that retweet. You're hitting that like button. And this is how we draw these giveaways. We've given away $100 and 3-month memberships, lifetime memberships to Academy and courses. Courses and indicators. We've given away all kind of stuff. And this giveaway is going to be for an hour of my time, one-on-one, so we can break things down together. Let's go ahead and see what day we are going to pick from last week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we're going to see what's going on here. Looks like it's going to be Tuesday. What date was Tuesday? We got to figure out what date that was. Hold on. Let me pull up a calendar really quick. There it is. So looking at the calendar, last Tuesday was the 8th. So let's go ahead and see on the 8th, what was the tweet? Here we are. So this is the tweet. This is where we're getting the drawing from. So boom, right here. Let's go ahead. Where is it? Twitter must like the tweet. Okay, now go ahead. Get data. Get the data. 21 names. And let's go ahead, hit start. Let's see who wins that 1 hour. Theo, Lee, Rod. I wonder if you're in the house right now. I'm going to screenshot this. Mods, can you also send this to me in the BitLab mod Discord? I want to make sure to reach out to this person. I want them to reach out to me too. We always double check, make sure we're giving it to the right person. So shout out to Theo, Lee, Rod. Now it is time to jump into the show, and we're going to be talking about what's going on. I got some on-chain metrics. I got some TA breaking down using the upgraded and completely overhauled, and I'm talking the new upgrades for the BitLab Trading Stack are fire. And I was just talking with one of the original people from BitLab, back end founder, actually, and we were just talking about how excited we are to let this loose on the world and really start breaking down for you how to use this and get it in your accessibility so you can utilize it. Everybody that has the current BitLab Trading Stack will have access to the new BitLab Trading Stack. And for those of you that don't, you're going to be able to get this. You can still pay. You can You can sign up now. You can also wait because we have some really good incentives for new signups that is going to be coming very soon. Make sure you're heading over to bitlabacademy.com. You can sign up for all the stuff here. We have all kind of different courses. I just want to re-emphasize how much is going on here. We got a lot going on in the back end. We got new courses, new resources, new tools, all kind of stuff. This is all this content right here is free, by the way. This blockchain 101, Bitcoin 101, crypto beginners. We're going to be having Ethereum 101, layer ones. We're going to be having smart contracts. A bunch of new trading strategies. We have all of this. And when you sign up for BitLab Academy, you get access to every course we have and all future courses, as well as a premium Discord. And wouldn't you know it, our premium Discord paired with the BitLab Academy courses, all access, costs less than a lot of different crypto figures out there. Just access to their Discord. We want to make sure that it's accessible to everybody. And if you want access to everything, the premium Discord, the all access to courses, as well as our indicators, you can click up here on enroll now. And when you click on this, you can see right here is the all access to the courses and the Discord. This is where you can sign up for free or share this with a friend or family member if they want the basics and you want to know that they're getting the right information right here. All they have to do is sign up and it's free. All access right here with the premium Discord. And then, of course, the BitLab Pro, which is the all access to courses, as well as the premium Discord, as well as the BitLab Trading Stack. And this is roughly about 30%. We reduced the price if you get everything together. It's about 30% off every month. We still have a coupon code for the all access, this $37.99 a month. If you use Give Me 30, it's 30% off. So enough with the selling. I just want to make sure you guys know where to get the best information so that you can dominate these markets. Now, coming over to where were we? Let's kind of come back to my page right here. And you know what we're going to start with today? We're going to start with some TA. And where's it at? We're going to start with some TA where, I don't know where there it is. Boom. We're going to start with some TA today. And we're going to look at where we're at the beginning of the show and then also again at the end of the show. But I just want to show you a couple things that I've been seeing on the charts. Well, first off, the price today, 29,400. I mean, it hasn't moved since the middle end of July. And that's just looking at price action. We're not looking at any data there other than the consolidation of Bitcoin across this time period. At one point, we thought this may be a diamond because of this consolidation, expansion, consolidation, re-expansion. But what do we make of this? Is this good? Is this bad? Well, if we zoom out, this is on the 12-hour chart. Let's go ahead and look at the weekly. Let's double click on the right-hand side. And we're just going to kind of come over here. And I'm actually going to delete this fib because it's too much data on the chart there. We're going to delete this line as well and this line. And I just want you to notice something. Actually, this is not the chart I want to look at. This is the chart I want to look at. Looking here, if we turn off all of the lines, we can see we did get this buy signal on the hash ribbon, but that's not what we're looking at today. On the weekly, I want you to notice here, price action, there is a slight higher high. Now, some would argue whether or not this is, when we consider double tops, would this be a double top or not? Because, you know, regionally, if we look at, essentially, if we zoom in here, if we go from this portion right here all the way up to all the way up here, this is only a 2% difference. It's relatively small. This is pretty close to being a double top. But what do we make of that? Is it a double top? Is it only pressing into this because of all this price action interactivity here and all these bounces here? Remember, if we take a measurement tool from all the way back here to where we're at today, that's over 945 days, with essentially this being this, okay, just a line, there we go. With essentially this right here being the equilibrium, up, bounce, bounce a little bit above it. We bounce here and then we lose a level. This is a Luna collapse. And then we've come over here and we've rejected into this twice. But essentially what I'm saying is this is an equilibrium point that has been the equilibrium for, over 900 days. So when we're considering potentially whether or not this is a double top or if there's larger things at play, I would argue we're kind of in an uncertain territory. So we have to look to the data in the chart. We have to look to the indicators. We have to decipher things and try to stack the probabilities in our favor. Trading and investing. Investing, you can buy, you stack your probabilities in your favor through looking at the fundamentals. when you're trading, and that even means if you're doing longer position trades, trying to buy somewhere near a bottom-ish region or somewhere after bottom and then a little bit of consolidation, which is kind of where we're at now, and trying to get out somewhere near the top, even if that's a multi-year thing, that's still trading. That's long-term swing trading, otherwise known as position trading, okay? So we want to stack the probabilities in our favor if we're making these trades. If we come down here, this is a weekly. If we come down to the 12-hour chart and zoom out, let it load, I just want to point out a couple things. We have the BitLab the BitLab intelligence here, which integrates divergences. It integrates different signals, these trend shifts, as well as these potential reversal signals, as well as these bearish signals and bullish signals. And while we were debating internally whether or not we wanted to have buy or sell signals, and we came to the conclusion that we wanted to provide the signals that could let you know that a buy or a sell is setting up. But more importantly, we wanted to make sure that it was understandable and not misleading when you're using especially the BitLab trading stack. And so we have an integration of multiple different signals in each one of our indicators. We have the BitLab the BitLab intelligence. We have this BitLab trend fuel, which integrates, again, up here on the intelligence, we have divergences, we have bullish and bearish signals based on what price action is doing, some candle formations, support and resistance, reading in the background, as well as where we're at in relationship to the EMA ribbons, the VWAP, breaking certain different levels in terms of moving averages, whether those moving averages are crossed. There's a lot of different considerations that goes into each one of these signals. And then, of course, we have the BitLab trend fuel here on the bottom, which allows us to see, if we double click on this, allows us to see the momentum, as well as whether we're expanding one direction or the other. We can tell this is expanding to the downside. We can tell when this clips back because we get these triangles. These diamonds, whether it's bearish or bullish. We have the money flow, which is this blue or light purplish wave, and the yellow essentially letting us know that the money flow is a bit neutral. Essentially, there's almost like a lack of signal there. But then, of course, we also see we have this stochastics, which is the orange line, and the RSI. And on top of all this, we can actually on top of all this, we can also turn on, we want to see the VWAP on here. And we have this basically control panel on the bottom right, which is just a quick look tool for if you're just looking very quickly, how do the various signals that are within this indicator, the BitLab trend fuel, how do they stack up in terms of which signals within this multi-signal indicator are showing bullish, neutral, or bearish signals. And you can tell whether it's green, almost said silver, gray, or red. And then in addition to all that, then we also, for more advanced users, have sort of order flow right here on whatever asset you're looking at. And then in addition to that, then we also have the BitLab volume right here we can see on the right, which is not just a VPVR type of indicator. Let's go ahead and go to the daily. It's not just a VPR type of indicator, a volume, a visual volume VPVR, visual profile of the volume range, essentially, letting you know how much volume is traded at each price level. It also automatically prints these order blocks, which tend to be very high hit rate liquidity zones. I like to think of them as magnets, and also can be utilized in essence as a sort of support or resistance, as well as liquidity magnets for price likely going back to tap those zones. And we can see this prints automatically with if it's above, it's red. If it's below, it's green. And it just provides so much signal. In addition to all this, we can double click on this and we can come over here to inputs and come over to, where's the delta? We can turn on the delta and it lets you know, is it predominantly bullish or bearish volume at each one of those ranges. So between these three indicators, and by the way, each one of these indicators has multiple data sets within it, providing it's, so we're seeing three on the screen. This way, anybody, even with a free TradingView account, can utilize this because you're not gonna have to pay TradingView to access more than three indicators. You're getting a lot more than three indicators because they're all integrated into this indicator stack. Now, along with this, we can utilize looking at, let's go to a different chart here. We can utilize looking at all the data on here, and we can see, especially on this 12-hour, and just like with any indicator package, you can figure out with each asset what time frame works best, and we can see here on these indicator packs, everything going on from the momentum in combination with, we got this very strong signal here, meaning there's a lot of underlying indicators, a lot of underlying data sets that are suggesting this may be a buy. Well, then you don't just take a buy because an indicator, one aspect of an indicator gave a signal. You look down here, you see, okay, well, we're getting much higher highs on the momentum. The bearish pressure is waning. We're starting to have the oscillation, the cycles leaning back towards a bullish narrative, and we see this angling to the upside. And not only that, we can see that the VWAP, this yellow line here, is starting to break past the zero line about right here. So this may have been a front-running signal. And then we look to our other signals. We see the momentum is angling up towards the zero line. The VWAP breaks the zero line. So roughly about right here would have been a great entry based on these three signals. That's how we use these indicator sets. Now, coming over to where we're at now, what does that mean for today? Well, if we're here on the 12-hour, let's come down to the 4-hour, and let's just look what's going on. Well, it looks very indecisive here, but what I will say is we can see a predominantly bearish narrative here because the momentum is resting on the lower side. It tries to break up, rejected, tries to break up, rejected, tries to break up, rejected, it gets up a little bit, rejected, it barely breaks the zero line, rejected. Now, what's the shift here? Now, all of a sudden, we have a large impulse above the zero line. Not only that, we get the VWAP coming up. We see the stochastics angled up, but it very quickly gets rejected after it makes comparatively a substantial push to the upside, comes back down. But what do we see here? We see another wave cycle forming. So we see this like this. We see this come up. We see this come down. We see this trying to work its way back up right here. Will it happen? Well, the question is, what do the other signals say? Well, as soon as this pushed up, if you wonder if it's going to break through, well, first off, we start seeing the momentum wave rolling over here. It's the stochastics topped out about right here on the chart. See the stochastics about right here? Price action still moved up. Stochastics moving down. So we already know that there's waning momentum for the bulls. In addition to that, then very shortly after that, we get the bearish signal right here, which is reads multiple data sets about what's going on and says this is likely, if you took a long, for instance, down here, this is likely an exit point, or if you both go long and short, maybe a potential short right here. Well, let's see what happens with the other signals. We have a bearish signal right here, but we come down here, the momentum still angled to the upside. So on this pullback, then on this attempt to the upside, we have a lower high, and at this point we have the clip, the diamond here showing that there's no more expansion of the bulls. Now there's expansion or contraction of the bulls, leading to potential expansion of the bears. And so right here, lower high following the bearish signal, and we see the momentum is waning dramatically. So this would have been an excellent zone. In addition to that, we can see the VWAP is in the negative position down here below the zero line. Where we're at today, we can see VWAP right here, this yellow line. The VWAP starts angling down rather dramatically right at the zone. It's coming down. It's made an attempt to the downside, but it's starting to curve and angle back up. But we're getting a lot of mixed signals here. And so maybe not every indicator is going to be able to tell you what to do exactly in this moment. What indicators allow you to tell you is, are there certainties or uncertainties when you stack the data? In this case, there's uncertainties. Price broke above this trend signal line, this 50 moving average that's also stayed red. So this broke above it. It stayed red. Price got sucked right back down below it. It also came down below where the EMA ribbon is and the 20 moving average, which is right here, came back below it. And we see as this price has progressed, the RSI is sideways. It starts to angle up where we're at right now, but stochastic still angled down. Money flow is a bit neutral. It's just chopping back and forth right at the zero line. But if we zoom in on this, I want you to notice something. While on the one hand, the VWAP is angled back up, look at the momentum. Momentum is angled down. So does this mean that is there a problem with the data set the indicator's reading? No. What it's suggesting is when you have data showing conflicting things, That means there's an uncertainty present in the market about buyers and sellers. And we can tell that by this consolidation sideways. So if there's an uncertainty, AKA a lack of data to support a directional choice, whether it's long or short, this is showing indecisive. Right now, maybe a no trade zone until we come down to a level, until we see something stacking up where you see a large bearish momentum wave followed by a smaller bearish momentum wave, showing that it's starting to wane, or this next wave to the upside, maybe we get a larger momentum wave. Maybe we get a buy signal or a bullish signal, I should say. Look at this signal right here. So it's, perfect signal right on the touch of the support line. We want to stack the probabilities to our favor. We don't want to take a shot because we see a green candle. If you take a shot because you see a green candle, what you're doing is donating your money to somebody with a better strategy that is stacking the probabilities to their favor. So that's a quick little rundown on where we're at right now with Bitcoin. We're going to be coming back to TA here in a few minutes. Actually, we're going to do quite a bit of TA, but we have some things we got to talk about. We got some things we got to talk about. So let's go ahead and start with that. I don't remember if I put these in order, but coming right here, boom. First things first, massive Bitcoin exit from exchanges may spell good omen for Bitcoin. So if we just scroll down here, it's right here. Data from sentiment. Oh, sorry about that. Screen up. Data from sentiment. There we go. Data from sentiment, as shared by renowned on-chain analyst Ali Chart, shows that a total of 11,000 Bitcoin have been withdrawn from crypto trading wallets in the past 24 hours. The sum is worth a total of 330 million. So what is this saying? This is saying, in other words, that 11,000 Bitcoin from a single wallet has been moved off of an exchange wallet, meaning coins have moved off of exchange into private holdings, into cold wallets, into something off exchange. And so what this means, and I'm going to show it to you more broadly, is if we come over here to Glassnode, I want you to notice something. When we look at any charts, whether you're looking at price action, whether you're looking at on-chain, whether you're looking at charts of population growth and contraction over time, it doesn't matter what chart you look at. You can correlate patterns with outcomes. But remember, correlations do not mean causation. And it's not ever going to work 100% of the time. But when you see a high regularity of hit rate for a certain action of of an X factor, and then a Y factor tends to happen on a very high regularity, as we showed yesterday with the Bitcoin hash rate. When it flips by, I think the metric was like 10 out of the 11 signals resulted in strong bullish action. Well, in this case, we're looking at the correlation and the behavior patterns of people moving coins onto exchange or off of exchange, and how that has resulted in subsequent price action with those actions. Now, if we see here, price action, coins coming off exchange, that's this red. And by the way, we break all this down in the on-chain data analysis course in BitLab Academy. We've got, I think, 19 or 20 different lessons in there, breaking down all kinds of different on-chain charts. Also, how you can utilize on-chain to identify if you're coming into a trend cycle low or a trend cycle high, so that you can be in position, so that you can get your strategy in order to layer in or layer out near market cycle bottoms or near market cycle tops. So looking at this, I just want you to see this green wave is coins coming from my private holdings, my ledger, my, trust wallet, whatever, Trezor, and you're putting it onto exchange. Now, what could that relate to? Why would people move from private holdings onto exchange? What do you do on exchange? You buy and sell. Now, does it mean if somebody moves coins from private holdings onto exchange that they are going to sell? No. But the likelihood is much higher that they're getting ready to buy or sell than if they're just holding it in their private wallet where they can't buy or sell. I mean, they can OTC, but there's no real signal there to really track. So looking at this, coins coming off exchange, look at this, a trend cycle low. This starts collapsing to the upside, the bearish, the movement off exchange starts collapsing here and it gets smaller and smaller. And then as price comes up to this almost double top, this M top right here, we see coins moving onto exchange, front running what? The drop. Now coins come down. People are wondering, because of this previous high in this region here, people are wondering maybe as we're coming into this, maybe we're coming into an area that's going to rebound, continue up to 100K. It doesn't happen. People get shaken out rather quickly of that sentiment, and coins start moving onto exchange in droves. Now we see a lot of chop here and then drop. Coins have come off exchange, consolidates. People are like, I don't want it to go any lower. They put coins on exchange to sell. What happens? Selling results drop. You see how you can use this as, I'll call it a loose signal, because it's not something you're going to actionably trade on, because we're going to use this to shape some context of our understanding of what's happening with the behavior of the broader market so that we can put stack the probabilities in our favor. Maybe we see this, maybe we start to look to other signals. We see right here, all these coins come off exchange. This is the FTX collapse. So we get a sizable amount of people moving coins off exchange. Also, because people lost faith in holding coins, having other people hold their coins. Because why? Not your keys, not your crypto. So we saw all this exodus from exchange. This also creates an imbalance or an illiquid supply, meaning there's less available supply on exchange to trade. So there's more demand on exchange for the small amount of coins that are there. And what happens? We get this massive God candle right here. Look at this. Coins flip to coming back on exchange, get a little bit of sell-off. Sell-off also results in some coins going off of exchange, coming off exchange into private holdings. Now, as this starts pushing up, people go onto exchange again, sell-off. And this actually pushed up rather large, and we still had coins coming onto exchange. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Not every correlation is going to be an exacting data set for you to act on, but you have to be aware of it, because it will be one of the factors in the many ingredients that you're looking for the recipe that says when this happens, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D. You get your 11 signals, whatever signals you're looking to give you the data instructed, the data informed context of the market so that you can make smart decisions. And then right here, we get the sell-off. Look at this, huge amount of coins coming off of exchange. This is also the BlackRock push right here. But what do we see? We see this contraction of coins coming off of exchange. So there's fewer and fewer and fewer coins coming off of exchange. Now, what I want to focus on right here is from this point, this low to this zero line, this low to this zero line, this low to this zero line, the low to the zero line. This behavior right here, where there's less and less conviction of holding coins off of exchange, seems to, as this progresses up, has very regularly led zero line right here. This is a zero line right here. See that? Zero line right here, down. Does this mean because coins have stopped moving off of exchange that we're absolutely going to get a sell-off? Not necessarily, but we have to consider it. Is this going to have something like this? Let's see, like this. Are we going to be choppy? I don't know, but we just have to pay attention to this. Now, the article we just read suggested that there's 11,000 coins that just got moved off exchange. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this just a little bit. I just want to see what date this is. This is as of yesterday. Now, when was that article? The article was it this morning? So, okay. So this data is not yet in the on-chain data metrics that we're looking at. So it's going to be interesting at the end of the day or tomorrow morning, whenever this data is updated, to see how that affects this chart. Because what I'd like to see, based on that news, let's actually look at what the metric is here. So this is minus. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. Maybe it is integrated, because this is minus right here. This is minus 12,000. So the previous day was minus 4,000, minus 5,000, minus 10, 11,000. So yesterday does show minus 12,643. So this does show, that does show the data. I'm glad that I looked up on this. So this does show the data, but the question is going to be, is this going to be something that continues to expand to the downside? Because if it does, that will be in favor of the bulls. What won't be in favor of the bulls is if this crosses over the zero line, and by crossing over the zero line on this chart, this would suggest that people are starting to, rather than move coins off of exchange, move coins onto exchange, which could cause a little bit of selling pressure or fear of selling pressure. Because some of this may not even be, you know, when somebody's moving coins onto exchange, that could also be a manipulative tactic, because now people are aware that people are looking at on-chain data. So a whale could go and push if they got 55,000 Bitcoin, they could move, 25,000 coins onto exchange. People would see that, and there would be some selling pressure just on the speculation of what they might do. So you've got to take that into context. Now, I think it's time to get out of this chart. There's a couple other things I want to talk about, and we're going to get back into a lot of TA. Now, here's the deal. First spot Bitcoin ETF goes live in Europe. Come on, US, get your damn act together. We got this. I was talking yesterday. We have a great interview, by the way, going out on Saturday with myself and Mark Yusko, CEO of Morgan Creek Capital. It's going to be going out on BitBoy, a shortened version, and the full-length version is going to be here on BitLab Academy. But we talk about this. The US has fallen behind. And I asked him specifically, is there a real consideration? Because he's been in markets for, since I retired from the military in 2003. He was in markets for 15 years before that. He knows markets. And I said, is there really safety and manipulation considerations that we need to give the SEC credit for in terms of them delaying the spot Bitcoin ETF because it may cause some, potential for manipulation in the market? Is the spot ETF can have a higher or lower likelihood of manipulation in markets than the futures ETF? And he's like, no question, the futures ETFs definitely have more of an impact on manipulation, because it's also larger institutions, banks, smart money, large wealth accounts, and they know how to move markets. They also know how to, push things in the favor or whatever the speculative narrative they want to create. They can shift and adjust the market's sentiment based on what they're seeing, futures and options and open interest and all these sorts of things going on. In addition to that, with futures, you have leverage and derivatives. So you can expand your effect. If you have $1 million, you can put it on a 10x leverage trade, long or short, on a spot ETF, and have that much more impact on the market. And when you have tens of thousands of large accounts doing that, it changes the narrative of the market. So here goes, Europe going live. We've also seen a number of other countries. We got Brazil, we have Canada. There are spot ETFs out there for Bitcoin. Now we have another one going live in Europe. When is the US going to get its act together? Well, the interesting thing about that is if we go to this story right here, Grayscale, their decision apparently is due today. This kind of slipped completely under my radar. Grayscale Bitcoin ETF decision could happen this week, pundits say. We can scroll down here. Grayscale Investments, which has been seeking to convert its Bitcoin. By the way, they got over 600,000 Bitcoin. People keep arguing that BlackRock may be the best suited, but in reality, Grayscale, in my opinion, they kind of already have a bit of a track record in the digital asset ecosystem. They have more Bitcoin than anybody. We think Michael Saylor has a lot. They've got about 4 or 5 times as much. And they've been the GBTC Trust has been live for several years. They also have a court case against the SEC for denying them over and over. And if we scroll down here, as of now, including Grayscale, there are only a small number of unresolved March argued cases. This is regarding the case. Meanwhile, Bloomberg analyst James Seyffart says the decision could come as early as August 15th. Now, the important thing here is as early. Doesn't mean it has to happen today. Noting the date has been his theoretical Grayscale lawsuit decision date for some time. And we can scroll down here. has been my theoretical Grayscale law date for a while, but it's really just an educated guess. I didn't even do detailed analysis on the court decisions like S.G. Johnson did, but I did a little bit of it. So had the convos, blah, blah. Essentially, this is a speculative sort of idea. So if we don't get a decision today, don't lose your shirt, be mad because, didn't come out. The question's going to be between now and the middle of September. It's going to be a very interesting landscape as to what decisions, delays, decisions, denials, or delays do come in the form in regards to the Bitcoin spot ETFs, because we have Grayscale likely going to have some sort of decision in one of those three categories: decision, delay, or denial. Whatever. And then also we have Bitwise on September 1st and BlackRock on September 2nd. So there's no telling. Everybody thinks they're going to be all delays. And I lean in that camp. I think that is the most likely, but it also wouldn't surprise me with all the heat on Gary Gensler and also with the presidential elections coming up and how much noise the Bitcoin community worldwide is, and really in the US, this is actually more important for the presidential election, the showing of force and the data that shows how many people in America have participated in crypto in some capacity. And we see basically every other candidate that's running for office is, basically coming in support of Bitcoin. At some point, there's got to be some, pretty broad decisions. And for the candidates like Robert F. Kennedy, like DeSantis, like Michael Pence, Donald Trump, they can speculate and make comments and create a narrative about what they may or may not do. The difference with Biden is the president right now, and he does have the capacity. Does he though? He does have the capacity to make a decision and not make a statement, in the sense that rather than say he comes in support of Bitcoin, he could, kind of nudge Gary Gensler in the direction of getting the spot ETFs approved and shock everybody. So we need to be prepared for any outcome over the next, between now and January, about potential complete denials, about a denial, then an appeal, then court cases, or just a sort of mass approval like Kathy Wood, the CEO of ARK Invest, suggested may happen. So next thing we want to talk about, not that. That was from when I was making the graphic for the thumbnail. The next thing I want to talk about is where we're at right now, looking at the CBBI, the basically Bitcoin Bull Run Index. We're at a 42. The hell does that mean? Well, 0 to 100. We can look at here on the left, 0 to 100. And basically the lower you are, the closer you are to a bottom. The higher you are, the closer you are to a market cycle top. And we can see, look at these lows. Boom. See this metric right here? You can also see it in terms of the color coding on the price action of Bitcoin here. Dark green also correlates with very low numbers. This got down to a 1 January 15, 2015. We also see the low here, got almost to the very dark green, and this got down to a 6. Where we get right here, we got down to a 2. So I still believe, and I think all you do too, that this is likely the trend cycle low. There's some people that argue that we're still going to go down. It's possible, but just based on looking at the historical anatomy or layout of the price action and the previous cycles, where we're at now in relationship to the halving, and looking at this right here, this looks to me like we're getting basically strong push, support, strong push, support, strong push, support. Are we due for another strong push? Now, I hope you're not getting frustrated that I'm showing you both bullish and potentially bearish data sets, but this is what an analyst does. You don't look for only confirmations of the direction you want it to go. If shit's uncertain, then you need to know it's uncertain so that you don't try to force a trade, because forcing a trade allows you essentially to force your money into somebody else's pocket. So there are both bullish and bearish signals. Now, I also want to talk about right here, breaking. People's Bank of China cuts one-year loan rate by 15 basis points to 2.5%, its largest cut in 3 years. Kelly, we want to talk about Bitcoin and altcoins, and you forgot to do Pepe and SHIB yesterday. You must not like them. Well, first off, I don't. but we will do those for you because I did forget to do them yesterday. But why are we talking about China? Well, China, other than the U.S., is the other largest effect on, if I pull this up, Bitcoin strategy platform. There we go. And remember, I look at this a lot, but we got to understand what's going on with global liquidity. And the two largest players in global liquidity are the U.S. and China. And if liquidity is coming out of global markets, coming out of the system, then think of the money as water and the assets you're trying to invest in as plants. If there's lack of water, there's a drought. Do plants go or do they shrivel? They don't grow when there's lack of water. So in this case, if we're looking, at this thing here, the move was likely driven by July's economic data release, which showed weak consumer spending growth, declining investments, rising unemployment. So there's a little bit of pressure on global markets in terms of liquidity. And if we're thinking in terms of liquidity, then there's probably some forecasted sort of pressure on global markets. But then on the same time, we come over here, we look, consumer bears are in shambles. So we're getting uncertainty on every corner here. U.S. retail sales increased by a little under 1% in July. Estimated only 0.4, went up almost double, about 80%. So the U.S. economy is going up, China's going down. There's a little bit of a contention there about what that means. U.S. retail control group sales rise 1% month over month. So things are still looking a little bit questionable here. Now, we got 136 people in the room. We're about to do a bunch of TA. Everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. I just want to take this moment while everybody's in the room. We can't only be about charged dollars and profits and portfolios and Bitcoin. I just want to take a moment. If you'd indulge me for a moment, there's been obviously an absolute ridiculously terrible catastrophe that's been going on in Lahaina, Maui. And as I pointed out yesterday, there's a lot going on there in terms of, just absolute loss of life, loss of homes, businesses. And with that being said, I've got a number of family members there and probably about 100 close family friends. And so on that note, I talked to my cousin yesterday, he's born and raised there, and he said things are so much worse than you could even imagine. It's not being covered on the news. There's no internet, no phone calls. There's one or two people on the island that have Elon Musk's Starlink, and there's people waiting in line for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours just to be able to make a call to their family or let people know they're okay. He still hasn't talked to about probably 40% of the people he knows because nobody can get in contact with them. He doesn't know if they're dead or alive. About half the people we know over there have lost everything. Some of them only have the clothes on their back. And in addition to all of this, even if somebody didn't lose their home, they lost their jobs because all of Lahaina burned, all of Front Street. So this isn't something like, oh, let's help these people out. This is going to be an ongoing endeavor for a lot of people, probably 12 to 18 months because people have lost homes and their livelihood. So if you would find it in your heart, we started a fund that we're going to basically try and get a number of different Starlinks. He's going to be setting up pop-up, basically food stations to give out food. Also at those food stations, provide internet and cell service through Starlink and a number of other things. You can find it in your heart to skip one meal going out this week and donate any amount of money here, whether it's $2, whether it's $200, whether anything that you could spare. We're in here speculating on how to grow our capital. Meanwhile, other people have lost everything that they own. So I would just appreciate that. And I just think it's important that we don't only be about money, but we be about community too. You can find that here at tinyurl.com/Maui fire victims. And we're going to be dispersing that through friends, family, community, services, all kind of stuff. So I just wanted to share that with you. Now, thank you for indulging me. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about some TA. We got a list here from Irate Specialists, AKA a mellow fellow. Got me a list. We're going to be breaking down some stuff that I've never even broken down. And this list is created by all of you that are here early. Remember, the stream starts at 10:15, but the early bird starts at 10 a.m. We have the stream up. We ask those early comers, those active people in the community, what coins they want to see, and that's how we determine those altcoins that we look at. Now, everybody in the room, we got 126 people. Every single one of you should be hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, digging the bell, and participate in this channel, this community that you're watching on a daily basis, because still 57% of you that watch more than once a week, you're watching regularly and you're not subscribed. Come on, man. What you doing? Join us here. Come on. The water's nice. Come on. Join us here, baby. Let's go ahead, jump in. Let's do some TA. Let's go down. We've kind of been slacking on doing some ETH TA. So we're going to start with the ETH Bitcoin chart. How's this? Man, look at these signals. BitLab trading stack. Bearish signal, boom, down. Bullish signal, on this case, because we have established a downtrend, this would, if you had taken a short up here for, any of your other technical analysis, this would have been a good sort of take profit level. Let this bounce back up, maybe re-enter and break back down. But we can see right here. We don't need to go backwards and stuff. Let's look at where we're at right now. Okay, option T. Let's draw some lines. We got a bit of a range here that's also not really a range. It's kind of ugly. Ugly sort of setup here. Looks like a bear flag. And this is, of course, Ethereum as it is compared with the denominator Bitcoin. Now, if you're investing in crypto assets, which are way more risky than traditional indexes and, these major asset class and global equities, don't you want to stack the probabilities in your favor? If you're absolutely against Bitcoin because it's too big and all these other things move faster, fine. I hear you. However, at the same token, there's still timing involved as to when you get in those other assets that may move faster than Bitcoin at some point. When we're looking at Ethereum right here, this looks like a downtrend. This looks like down, a little bit of relief, sideways, down, sideways, down, sideways, down, sideways. What is the trend there? Down, sideways, down, sideways, down. Now, in this case, we're riding on the bottom side of the support band. So this is suggesting that currently, Bitcoin to ETH, Bitcoin is still a better asset if you're looking for growth at the moment. So looking at these charts paired with Bitcoin help you identify maybe your altcoin is setting up for a move, but if it's setting up for a breakdown from Bitcoin, what the hell's the point? Wouldn't you rather be in an asset that's going to move faster and is safe? Using the Bitcoin pairing chart, whether you're looking at ADA Bitcoin, GRT Bitcoin, Avalanche Bitcoin, don't just look at the US dollar chart or the euro chart or the yen chart. Look at it also comparatively with Bitcoin so you can see where you're at within the cycle. And furthermore, let's kind of come over here and let's pull up TradingView again. And we're going to look at the totals here. And we look at here at the total. This is the total 3. So this is a Bitcoin. Sorry, this is the total market cap minus Bitcoin minus ETH. Downward trading trend here. Yes, did this break out of this zone? Sure, came up here, but now we are in this descending channel, which they do have a higher likelihood of breaking up, but these also don't have an apex. What do I mean by apex? Apex would be when you have like this terminal point right here where they meet. When you have a descending descending channel, as we do here, there's no telling how long this is going to go. We're looking at the daily. Let's look at the 3-day. Okay, 3-day look. This is curving down. This is coming up to a zone which historically of this range has rejected here. Let's come down to the 4-hour. This is pushed up. It made the attempt. We can actually do a secondary line here now that this is a smaller time frame. We can see, interestingly, there's something to be said here. There's a little bit of indeterminable sort of stuff here, but we see a decrease in volume. Bearish divergence on volume. Why? Higher volume there, lower volume here, lower price here, higher price here. So there's a lack of interest at higher prices. What does that mean? Less fuel to continue higher. Does it mean it can't? No, it does not. It absolutely could. But we also see the momentum right here. We have a bearish divergence on momentum as well. We look at the sort of trend control panel here on the bottom, predominantly red, not green. So although this looks like at the moment it's trying to make an attempt, we have the momentum is we got the diamond suggesting this may start contracting to the downside. Let's look at a little bit smaller time frame. Look at that gap there. Yeah, I think this gap, I remember Benjamin Cowan commented about this. They adjusted something. They adjusted something in the way they calculated the metrics. So is this even a move up, or is this just a reorganization of data that basically accounted for, you know, more money within the total market cap, total 3? So as it stands right now, this is a little bit indeterminable. This is giving us the health of the altcoin market. So things look a little bit indeterminable. We do have this trend line that was above us here. I don't even know. Yeah, we're gonna have to. We want to see what happens on this push up. Now it's going to come back over here. Let's look at, where's my other window? There it is. Let's look at ETH against US dollars. How does this look in? Let's get a better chart. There we go. All right, 2 mini lines. There we go. Perfect call right here. We got the bullish signal, as well as the trend shift, as well as a VWAP angling to the upside, as well as this clipping, contracting back. The bearish momentum is contracting back bullish. Perfect signal. Boom, all the way up. Now, where we're at right now, consolidatory range. It's consolidating is what I meant to say. Now, not only is this consolidating, we do see that the stochastics are kind of meeting a bit of a resistance and coming down. We have an expansion of we have an expansion of bearish momentum to the downside. We do see the VWAP is trying to make an attempt up, but if I had to guess, we can see a bit of a trend line forming on the VWAP as well, just like this. So if I had to guess, because remember, you don't just use trend lines on price action. You can use trend lines for any measurable data metric that is graphed. So we can see the VWAP, volume weighted average price. We can see this is getting rejected, comes up, gets rejected, comes up, gets rejected. Is this going to come up into the zone and somewhere in the zone and get rejected again and contribute to further momentum to the downside? If I had to guess, yes, because look at this. Rejected at the trend signal line, this 50 moving average. Another attempt, rejected not even at the trend signal line, rejected between the 20 and the 50. We also had the cross of the 20 bearishly below the 50. We also have lack of volume. If I had to guess, Ethereum would likely be testing somewhere down and maybe tapping the top side at minimum, tapping the top side of this order block that's down here below us. That's part of the BitLab trading stack. That's those 3 different order block. We can also look as resistance and support. So even if this pushes up, likely will get rejected somewhere between the point of control and this order block, which would, yet again, we can get some sort of idea where that may be. Look at that. If this went straight up right here, it would be perfectly in line with rejecting off the trend line form from these 4 previous candles as well. That's exactly where the bottom of the order block is. It's magic how this data lines up and suggesting what the probabilities are. You just have to use the data. Now, if this does break up here and breaks this line, then maybe we'll be testing the top side of this range, 1860, 1858. But I see things still leaning in favor of the bears unless we get a catalyst for a narrative shift of bullish or bearish sentiment. Does that make sense? So I could be calling for lower, and then something can flip the sentiment on its head because all these different major news stories and topics that get brought up on a daily basis. So that's what we want to pay attention to. Now, the level I'd be looking at, boom. We don't bounce at this level, which is 1833. Then I do think we're going to come down here to 1814. Now, let's go through this list. DYDX. DYDX. Question is, have you done your service today? And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding the bell. So this is looking rather not healthy. Look at, let's see. Let's go down to the wire here. So this squeaked out with not having a lower low here. But on this consideration, we do have a lower low from this range. What have I said? When we see this sort of shift where we're having higher low, higher low, higher low, now we have a lower low from this previous low. High likelihood we're going to get a lower high here which would be the ultimate a confirmation on this. We're on the 4-hour chart, would be a confirmation of a likely continuation to the downside. We also see, look at this, M formation. 2 bearish divergences right following this. I wouldn't clicked on the chart. Come on, let's see what they are. You better give me that data. Oh, you know what? It might be because of order blocks. Let's see. Yeah, so we got bearish RSI divergence and bearish money flow divergence. And then we have bearish MACD, bearish stochastic, bearish momentum. And what happened? This broke down. We have a lower low. Is this going to get rejected somewhere below this 20 line? Can't even make it up to the 50. It's gotten the wick eaten up on this bullish candle just from touching this EMA ribbon on the BitLab intelligence indicator right here. So if this rolls over, we have 49 more minutes on this candle. If this rolls over, this likely will test this 2213 sort of zone. If we lose that, then we're likely coming down, I would say, to about right there to test, because this is high, high, high. We come over here. There's a lot of interaction with this zone, highs and a bounce at this zone. Now, if we come from this move, look at that. This is perfectly in line from this move up. This is a golden pocket right where we have this line. So there's multiple things suggesting that. Now, if we go a little broader, we go all the way from the bottom here, then still this is a 0.5. So either way we measure from, this is a level that we should be watching. Now, if this does bounce here and breaks up and takes out 220, almost 221, then I think we may be in for testing this high. But look at this momentum coming down as the price is going up. There's been bearish divergence throughout, and stochastics coming down. VWAP starting to angle up, but we're still getting a little bit of a dominant bearishness here. And look at all this selling here. See this order flow? All red. They're selling in the order flow. It's not even an even mix. So that's what I'm seeing on DOIDX. Osmo. I don't know if we've ever done Osmo. Rounding. Option J. Look at this. Double bottom attempt, but rounded. Comes down and basically front runs this bottom, gets a tiny bit higher low. But on this attempt up, very weak attempt up, and we're getting, this is clipping right here. VWAP is angled to break the zero line and go negative. Yeah, if I had to guess, let's turn on the volume. If I had to get, if we could take out this 50 line and have a candle close above it on this 1 hour, maybe we'll test up into 46 cents, which is the bottom side of this order block range. If we could take that out, maybe it's not, it's also kind of in line with these previous highs. If we could take that out, maybe we'll work higher. As it stands right now, I'm leaning in favor of this kind of chopping in this zone. This doesn't, I mean, this is rounding, so it does look like there's going to be an attempt to be made. I don't think it's quite yet. So that's what I'm seeing. H bar. Look at that. Man, this actually looks, we got a bit of a bull flag here, bull pennant. So if we measure this, do it from there. The target on this would be up here, 8545. However, we have bearish divergence. You see this? This momentum is higher. We have this red line tracing here. Lower high on the momentum, higher high on price. So although this is a bearish structure, we're also coming into order block right here and then another order block right above us. We're on the 1 hour. So things are looking a little, it's trying to make some bullish moves. This is on the 12 hour, this is 8 hours expanding. We're still predominantly green. We'll come down to the 4 hour. All this volume, look at this. Yeah. So where are we at right now? Where's the price? Price is right here. Look at where this wick tested up to, right to the top side of right here, which is a previous high. Look at that. This is why you look left on the charts and you draw some lines based on previous range highs and lows, because his price starts, even when it's down here, you're like, maybe it's not going to get there, but his price starts moving and you're seeing this break out and you want to take a little bit of profits off the table, whether it goes into your, your spending account, your rotating capital into other assets account. You can front run this signal based on this previous range high and take some of the profits off the table. When the price pulls back, you can reallocate back into the same asset and you want and go up. But we can see here, we got two clear levels coming here on the 30-minute. This is very clear on the 30-minute. If I had to, man, I don't know, because there's been some positive news with this lately. We're getting this trend shift here as well. Coming in, it is below, it's below this entire EMA ribbon, 20 moving average and 50 moving average, the trend signal line. If this loses this level, I see this coming down to test at least probably a little lower than this. We have these highs here, but the volume is a little bit lower than this. So I would be looking at testing down to there. That looks like it's probably about the 382. We can see the 382 is right here. So if this does break down, I'd be looking for some test in this region, 6749. This does break up. I would want it to take out this level here, 7516, and if it takes that out, then I think there's a likelihood that we're going to push up. Maybe not all the way to 8525 on the push, but somewhere in this region here, around the 8-cent mark. That's what I'm seeing on H bar. What else we got? KDA. We haven't done KDA in a minute. If you're liking this altcoin TA, brought to you by the selections that you guys made, throw a 1 in chat. I want to make sure that I'm doing what you guys want, but also giving you what you need. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm going to give you stuff that you don't want, but you need it. So we got to keep the balance, because I want to keep you all engaged. I got 62 people in the room, 100 likes. That means 60 of you are not participating, man. Hit that like button. Let's look at KDA. You know what? Actually, exit. Let's go to a larger time frame. Probably better volume. Yeah, okay. That looks a little bit better. So we got the low right here. Option J. Previous range low. We have a bit of a trend line right here from these lows. High, 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 high. And we had, look at this, we had the trend line right here. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Lost, rejection, back down. But we're finding support right here, which currently is still a higher low. On the 4 hour, this does look like it's trying to expand further to the downside on momentum. However, we do have the support here. If we can trade sideways in this range, or even push up a little bit, we may break out to the upside. But what I see here is an M formation, breakdown, push up, breakdown, push up. Is there going to be another breakdown? Let's go to the 3-day. Let's see what the 3-day says. That's expanding to the downside, but it is rounding. Nice. Are we going to get a double bottom here, which would be nice for KDA? 12 hour was expanding up, but it's starting to break back down a little bit, or contracting up, I should say. But we do, look at this, predominantly red on the trend control panel. 4 hour, predominantly red. What does it look like on the 1 hour? All red, man. Yeah, this, can we get a push up? Because if we do, we'll get a W formation here, but not only to make the W formation work. This is not what I wanted to do. To make the W formation work, we would have to break this neckline right here, which means first we have to break the trend signal line here, the 50 moving average. And now we have all this shaded area right here on the BitLab Intelligence, which is showing a strong resistance. Think of like an Ichimoku cloud, where you have zones of resistance based on what's going on with price action and the sustainability of that price action. We can see this is pushing up into the zone and it's having trouble. Oh, look at that, just kind of came back down. If we lose this level right below us, I do think we'll likely test down a bit lower. Maybe about option J, maybe about 510. Maybe we'll get a double bottom here that is still a slight bit higher from the lows over here. This is looking like it's trying to do a little bit of a fake push up. It looks like it's likely going to at least test down to the previous low, 515. CAS. I don't think we've done CAS either. This one's got some great signals. Look at this. Bullish signal. It takes some profit, bearish signal. Potentially exit that trade or go into a long, exit the long, exit the short. So this is a level on Caspo right here. Boom. We already bounced on it. If we take this level out, I think the bottom side of this liquidity range, which is not that far. Bullishly, if we take this out, we bounce here and come up. If we lose that, then I think we are coming down to this level right here, because this is in the middle of this order block liquidity zone, but it also is where this bounced, this bounced, this bounced, this bounced. And if we take this across, look at that. Rejection, rejection, bounce, bounce, bounce. So these are the two levels I'm watching if we go to the downside, which is 37948 and 35409. We take that out, then we're likely working quite a bit lower. But as it stands right now, well, that's on the 1 hour. What does it say on the 4 hour? This would be another level here. Expansion to the downside. There is some green coming in on the VWAP, but mostly red. Stochastics, the top bottom signal for the Stokes trend wave is bearish. What does it say on the 12 hour? Look at this. How red that is. This is not looking very healthy. Maybe it's a bit of a relief rally. A relief rally would make sense. And that doesn't mean that me calling for lower prices is wrong. It means that there may be a bit of a relief here that will likely, if it does come up, will likely get rejected right here, which is a previous low. And this is, if we look at this, previous high of this range, previous low of this range. So if we do get a relief up, which we already got a little bit of one, if this does bounce, I'd be looking for likely rejection here at 4144. And then we'll have to come back and test this range. If we lose that, then we have the levels below us. Let's see. Cody, man, I don't think we've looked at Cody. If we have, it's been a long time. And I know people, who out there holds Cody? Who out there knows what Cody is? What chain is it on? Let me know. I know. I just want to see if you guys do. So, okay, we've got, look at this. Holding on. Bearish resistance. Broke out of it. Broke out of it. But look at this. We're just hugging it, bouncing down it like the, you know, just sliding down the side of a roof. Also broke below this low. Now we have option J. A bounce, 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 bounce. It's also rejected this level. We also bounced at this level roughly. If this does come down further, it looks like we have a bit of a trend line here too. Yeah. So see these rejections? Rejection, rejection, rejection. Came right into it. Rejection. M formation. On the bullish side, if we hold right about this trend signal line right here, look, it's going green, red, green, red. We're able to hold here and push up back against this and take out this line and these highs. Maybe we'll test up into this zone. This zone would be right about here, right about into this, where all this price action is. Maybe we get rejected there, come back out and take off. But as it stands, we've seen there's a lot of bearishness in the market right now. We need some sort of narrative shift or just very strong bullish action that shakes everything off, that it gets people excited about the market again. As it stands right now, just looking at the price action, triple top, boom, boom, boom. On that note, though, we have broken below this trend line. See this? So the question is, this is leading me to believe that this is likely going to continue down, which would be... bounce. No, this is not a good line. Right here, rejection, bounce, support. Likely, we've already kind of taken out this low. So if this does have any sort of price action here, I'm expecting this to at least test 457, and then likely, based on this narrative, likely come down further If we go from this low, option F, to the top side of the range, golden pocket right here. So 450. That's what I'd be seeing on COT. All right, let's see. Is H-bar doing something? No. All right, it's still within its trend. All right, let's come back over to, before we wrap out the stream, let's make sure you check out, make sure you're following me right here at Kellam. My information is right there. Make sure you're following the correct one. Look for the blue check, look for the hit logo. Come over to BitLab Academy page. Make sure you're following us here at Academy BitLab. And remember, really appreciate it if any of you would donate any money you got. That's the link, tinyurl.com/Maui fire victims. We're dispersing that to so many different people we know out there, and also setting up some food stations and trying to raise some money for some Starlink. So if you could share $5, $10, $11.38, anything you got. These people are not going to have homes and not going to have a place to work for the next year and a half. That's just, and there hasn't been any support from the government there. That's happy. People are robbing the people with supplies and stuff. People are getting in fights in line for food. So I just wanted to shout that out. Now, before we go, let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin before we roll out for the day. And we're going to see just what the hell is going on. Okay. We're getting still right in this chop zone. Chop zone. Let's go down to the 24-minute. I expect this at some point to come down and tap this zone right here, 29,190. Order block here, as well as this rising level of support right here. The question is going to be, if this doesn't hold, we may be in for some things going on, because we see this is an important line. If we lose this level, next level down would be this guy right here, which is 28,167. This previous high range right in here. So the question is, are we going to come down, bounce this, get rejected, and come further down, or what? If we look at the 3-day chart, this did come down, but the momentum did come down, but this is rounding. It's not expanding to the downside, which makes sense because we're coming into support. We could have a shocking move where this just rockets, because we saw it happen here. There was no real major catalyst that really got this going. It was a large in part from the exhaustion of the selling for a year plus and the lack of supply on exchanges. This is why earlier we were talking about the supply on exchanges, and if this behavior changes, it may change a little bit of the bullish sort of conviction that we have. So looking here on the 12-hour, a little bit more bullish than bearish. We are in this range. Looking here at the 2-hour, bulls tried, got rejected. Okay, let's look at the 1-hour. Okay, man, this is, everybody wants something to happen, and it's just exhausting people. I could see a shakeout in both directions on Bitcoin. So stay prepared, be patient, let the markets come to you. I love each and every one of you. Hope you all having a wonderful day. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell, drop a comment down below. Also drop a comment in the chat right now. If you're watching anywhere else, make sure you head over to the BitLab Academy page, which is right here at youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. We're coming up on 8,560. We'll be at 10,000 in no time. Make sure you join us here, BitLab Daily Streams. I got another great interview coming out this Saturday with Mr. Mark Yusko himself. Brilliantly smart guy. And I hope to see you all there. And of course, I will see you also tomorrow. So with that being said, make sure you come over to BitBoy. I'm going to be doing TA there. Come drop some lab codes, drop some positive comments, and we will see you in the next episode. I love each and every one of you. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Hit that like button, sucker.